have the honor here today of kind of starting us here on our, our show. Like what Felicia told me to come and do today is like kind of introduce and start like what we're all about. Last year I was a freshman, came here on campus, no idea what I was about to do, and so I signed up for the HU Underground. And what do you know? I got in. I found like my little family here on campus, and she came to me because I told her how like in high school I started working with apps and doing different stuff with technology. She came to me with a great idea, and the minute she told me, I was like, why hasn't someone done this before? I was like, is this really this simple idea? How come no one has done it? And so 5 seconds later, I was like, yes, I'm gonna do it. Like, let's just get it started. And she pulled out her notebook. If anyone knows Fee, you know that she carries this notebook everywhere, where she puts every idea that's in that mind of hers, which I don't know how she still has the same notebook, and she's not on like notebook 10 or 20, but she pulled out her notebook and she pulled out all these ideas that's plainly written out, and like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to look like, this, that, and a third. It was like mapped out to where a monkey can follow it, anyone can do it. It was like, this is exactly what we're going to do. So the first thing I think about Fee, the first word that comes to mind is persistence. We've had more bumps in the road than I've counted. We've had people try to misdirect us. We've had people who tried to intimidate us. But here we are, less than a year later. We're here with an app that was launched yesterday, and here we are fulfilling her dream. She's here. How many people would say that, she's like 22, 21 years old, and she's here living her dream every day? And, Fee is one of the people who I aspire to be. She came, put me on her wing, and she always told me, like, AJ, we're going to do this. Like, I was a doubting person in the group, I was like that little bit of, the one who's like, maybe, But she's like, we're going to do it. Like, why are you doubting this? Like, we're going to do it. Like, sure, we have a problem. Sure, we have this, that, and the third. But it doesn't matter what we do now. It's all about what we're going to be able to do later. And that is who Fee is. She's this little ball of energy who, if anyone can do it, Fee can do it. Which if maybe she could become a doctor because we didn't have cancer cured yesterday. But she decided to go into the app making business instead. So I want to thank you all for coming here today. And so so if you all could join me in welcoming Fee, the creative Be in the Know app.
Thank you, Adrian. I'm going to tell you guys how I met AJ in a few seconds. But first, I just want to start out by saying, I started out with absolutely nothing. Like, with nothing. I started out 24 tattoos. This time last year, I still had long dreads. Never did a computer program in my entire life. I had so many reasons why I shouldn't pursue this. But what I did have was an idea. And that was the idea that I told myself, and I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to stop until I made the idea a reality. So, I was the president of the American Marketing Association. And I was posting flyers around campus. And I just said to myself, like, why isn't there an app that allows me to send this flyer to everyone who's already in my club? Why isn't there a way that students can subscribe to the clubs that they're in? And why isn't there a way that students can subscribe to the fraternities who have the parties they never want to miss, and the career center so that they always get internship opportunities and straight to their phones? Why isn't this here for students? And even though I always had things that in the back of my head that said, oh, maybe you shouldn't do this, maybe you won't fit into the tech world, people won't take you seriously, I decided to embark on a journey to actually get it done. And I can honestly say that here I am today with a completed app that you guys can download. So take your phones out right now and download the Be in the Know app. You can download it, and not only that, but I can say that I'm living my dream, because what I want to do with my life is I want to talk to people like you guys. I want to go from school to school, and I want to inspire other people to achieve their dreams and at least chase their dreams, because the world that we live in right now, people are always going to try and tell you that you shouldn't, and the reasons why you shouldn't do something. And I just want to use the time that I have here, yes, to promote the app, but really I want to use the time to promote you guys and to let you guys know that the limits that the world tells you, they're lies. They're not true. None of them are true. The limit does not exist. People will always say, oh, because you're black, you can't do this or it'll be harder. Or because you're a female, you can't do this or it'll be harder. It's a lie. There are black people who are millionaires. There are females who are millionaires. Don't listen to that. That has nothing to do with you. And whatever dream you have, understand that it is always, and always has been, and always will be up to you. Whether or not you want to make that dream come true or not. The power has always been yours and it always will be yours. So throughout this journey, these are things that I came to realize. And I really only did 3 things. I committed myself to this dream, and I only did 3 things that helped make my dream, this random thought in my head, a reality. So what were one of the things that I did is what I'm going to tell you guys about today. But first, we're going to have some fun. I see you guys have like papers, pens. What I want you to do is take out a piece of paper and take out a pen. Because we're going to do something that the greats do. All of the greats do this. All of the greats, whenever they have an idea, they write it down. Whenever they have a dream, they write it down. And as they're writing, they commit to themselves that what I'm writing is going to come true. There's no reason why whatever you're going to write is going to come true. So what are you going to write? I want you guys to think of your vision. A year ago, this was my vision. That I was going to be sitting up here, telling you guys you can download it, talking to you guys. That was my vision, and it came true. So I want you guys to write down, what is your dream? What would you be doing right now if you were living your dream? Who would you be? Would you be in a corner office somewhere? Would you be on an island drinking a margarita? What would you be doing if you were living your dream right now? Get specific. Who would you be with? Would you be with your friends? Would you be with your family? What would you be doing? Write it down. Understand that whatever you're writing right now is completely possible. In fact, it's probable. If you do these 3 things that I'm going to talk to you guys about, there is no limit standing in your way. Your dream job, your dream life is possible. That's the first thing that you have to do. It's like a prerequisite to the 3 steps. First, you have to believe that it's not just a dream. That is something that can really happen in your life. So, when you write this down, and when you leave here, I want you to rip it out, and I want you to post it on your wall. Post it somewhere that you're going to see every single day. And every time you walk past it, remind yourself, this is what I'm working towards. This is where I'm going. This is what's going to happen in my life. So the first thing that you have to do, if you want whatever you're writing down to come true, and this is the most important thing, there's no way that your dream will ever come true if you don't do this first thing. The first thing that you have to do is you have to be you. So let me hear y'all say, be you. Be you. You've got to be yourself, because you know why? How is your dream ever going to come true if you're not being yourself? It's your dream. And that's where a lot of people fall short, because they're so concerned with what other people think about them. You're concerned about what your parents want you to be, what your friends want you to be, what your friends from back home want you to be. You don't want to change. You don't want to be that person that, oh, you up and changed. Yeah, I changed, because I'm trying to be successful. I have a future, I have a vision, and who I am right now is not who I was back then. It's definitely not who I'm going to be. You have to stop caring so much about what other people think about you. It's detrimental to your future. You have to be yourself, own yourself. And when you start being yourself and you start owning yourself, you'll talk about your dreams. That's where the change happens. It's when you own yourself and you're confident, you talk about it to people. And that's how opportunity comes in your life, because you're talking about it. How I met AJ Peters, like he said, we were having HU Underground interviews. And there were like 50 people who came to the interviews. So there were groups of 6, 7, 8 just coming in. And I just could not get the confidence to talk about the app. Maybe because I have tattoos and people don't expect me to, be into this type of thing. I don't know what, basically it was just insecurity. And I just didn't want to talk about it. But then these 2 gentlemen came in with like 3-piece suits and like laminated resumes. Like they were taking HU Underground way too seriously, right? But they came in and something just said, you know what, just say it. Just, what do you have to lose? So I said it. I talked about the app. Don't you know that one of those 2 people in the room just happened to be someone who's made apps before and says, you know what, I'd love to help? That's what happens when you be yourself and you express your dreams. You put it out there in the world, and the world shows you all the opportunities that are there, which leads me to the next point. If you ever, especially if you wrote down a big dream, you have got, after you be yourself, you have got to be aware. So let me hear y'all say, be aware.
Be aware.
Now whisper, you gotta be aware. You've got to be aware. You've got to be aware because you know what? And what do I mean by this? I mean, you have to be aware to the fact that opportunities are always surrounding you. At every single moment, there's an opportunity. Always. Some of y'all have the first step down, right? Y'all talk, y'all know how to talk about your dream. But y'all are concerned, but you guys, it never happens for you because you always say, oh, but I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because of that. It's a lie. Stop using those excuses for yourself. There's always opportunities for you to move in the direction of whatever you wrote in the piece of paper at all times. Even if you're alone in your dorm room and all you have is your laptop, you could be researching. You could be researching people who've already done what you want to do. Researching people who are currently aspiring to do the same thing as you so you can collaborate with them. There's always something that you can be doing. A lot of people, they cannot master this. But it's so important. And you know what? What I really mean is you have to look for the opportunities. Because the way the human mind works is if you aren't looking for opportunities, you will swear that they're not there. And I want you to count as many things as you can until I say stop that are black. Okay? I saw this on a YouTube video. I was like, I have to do this in person. All right, so when I say go, look around the room and count as many things as you can that are black. Ready? Go. Look for black. Look for black. Look for black. Count the black. Count the black. Count. All right, stop. Now, how many things were red? Y'all don't really know, right? No. All right, exactly. So now let's look for red. All right, when I say go, look for everything in the room that's red. Go. Look for red. Look for red. Count it. Count the red. Stop. Now with the show of hands, how many people saw more red the second time than they did the first time? Of course, because you were looking for it, and seek and you will find. So what I'm saying is when you walk into a room, you have to look at everyone in the room as red. You have to look at every single moment as red. You have to walk into the room looking for the opportunity in people. Even people in this room right now, like there's probably like 20 people in here. Whatever you wrote on your piece of paper, understand that there's someone who's in this room right now who knows someone who's done what you want to do, who knows someone who's done what you want to do, who possibly wants to do the same thing you do. Someone in here who can inspire you, who can motivate you, who can encourage you, who can give you feedback, who wants to collaborate with you. All the opportunities are even in this room right now. But until you start looking at the people around you in this way, you will swear that it's not there. So if you want to be successful, if you can master being yourself and talking about your dreams, and you can master understanding that opportunities are always around you and it's up to you just to be aware of it, you will see dramatic changes in your life. I mean, just do these two things for 1 week and see what happens. Because it's crazy. Now, it's one more step. I don't really want to talk about the third step for real. Because we're not going to like this. You know why? Because we are the age of like instant gratification. Like we just want things right now. You ever been like trying to Google something on your phone and it's supposed to take 1 second, but it takes 3 seconds and you're like this joint is so slow. I need to switch. I need to switch to Verizon. That's because we need it right now. We don't like to wait an extra 2 seconds. It's crazy. But if you have a dream, and I don't know what y'all wrote on your paper. I don't know if you want to be the next CEO or the next Bobby Shmurda. I don't know what you wrote. But whatever you want to do, if you have a big dream, you're going to have to do this third thing. You're not going to like it, but you're going to have to be it. going to have to be consistent. There's no way that you're going to be great unless you do the things that great people do consistently. You know why? Because we have this vision that we're going to wake up one day, we're going to be great. One day we're just going to wake up and be a millionaire. It doesn't happen like that. You become great. You choose today to start doing things that great people do, and you do that for 5 years. That's how you become great. It doesn't just happen out of nowhere. You're going to have to be consistent in order to get whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to briefly tell you guys just what has happened to me and AJ over the past years, and I want you guys to tell me how many, well, you don't have to tell me, but make a mental note, how many chances there were for me to give up, for us to quit. But you have to have faith if you want to get anything out of your head and into the physical world. You're going to have faith, and you're going to not quit. So after I met AJ, like he said, we would meet up, we would get so hyped. You know, we would meet up in the library, we would be drawing things on the whiteboard. We're like, we're going to do this, we're going to make it happen. Until we started realizing to get an app made in the United States of America costs anywhere between $30,000 and $100,000. Like, who would think that, right? I know I didn't think that. I thought it was going to be like a couple thousand. So we were like, okay, cool. Well, we're going to have to get an investor. So I go on Google. I'm looking for an investor. I find nothing except for one article. Literally, I found one article from 2008 that talked about the possibility of investors coming to the Hampton Roads area. So I called the author. And the author gives me the number of a lady who gives me the number of a man named Mr. Early. And I'm going to tell y'all about, I'm sorry, Mr. Lately. His name is Mr. Lately. So I'm going to tell y'all about Mr. Lately. Mr. Lately lives in Virginia Beach. Mr. Lately is the president of the Hampton Roads Technology Council. Mr. Lately, in 2008, was given $1 million to fund small business startups. So I call AJ, I'm like, AJ, this is the man. Like, we are going to call him. We are going to get him to write us a check for $75,000. I'm not taking no for an answer. I'll call Mr. Lately. We wrap it up for about an hour. He said, sure, come on out to the next Hampton Roads Tech Council Executive Board meeting so you can talk about your idea. I call AJ, I'm like, AJ, this is it. We got to be tight with it. You know what I mean? So we go around, we start practicing our investment pitch to like everyone, right? So then, so we're on our way there. When I first met AJ, he was wearing a three-piece suit. I was wearing a three-piece suit this day. Because that's how you know I was serious, right? We were both wearing our suits. We got there. We met Mr. Lately. We started talking about our idea. And Mr. Lately starts to tell us about his app that he's been working on for the past 2 years. He actually goes on to say that if we actually go on with the Be in the Know app, we would be his competition. So he was not going to invest in us. I don't know anyone who invests in their competitors. So there we were. The rest of the board, exec board, started coming in. Me and AJ are like totally shocked. Like, our hopes were up here. They're like totally down here now. The meeting goes on for 2 hours. Mr. Lately doesn't ask us to talk about it once. We stood in silence there for 2 hours. At the end of the meeting, he invites us to a networking event. So me and AJ are like, okay, fine, maybe we'll meet an investor there. So we go to the event. Of course, there are no investors there. All we do is network with some people. We give people our cards. They give us our cards, rah, rah, rah. I have a margarita, blah, blah, blah. We even meet another app developer. We tell him our idea, and he says, sure, I can do that for you for $30,000. Okay, great. We don't have $30,000. So we go back to Hampton. We thought we were going back with a check, but we ended up going back with nothing. So we're back at Hampton, and we have the choice whether or not we wanted to stop right there or if we wanted to keep going with this. So we chose to be consistent. We chose to keep going. We continued to practice our pitch. We gave surveys to students on campus. I ended up writing like some 30-page business proposal and I don't know, getting feedback from tons of students, tons of family members. I ended up networking with people across the world, I even talked to some guy who was on the first team who made Google Glass, the Google Glass joints. Like, I was just getting more and more immersed in the whole tech industry. And that was all good until 6 months goes by and you're like, all right, you know, what's going on? Are we going to get an investment or what? So I'm on the phone with my boyfriend. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't have an investor. I don't have an app developer. How is this going to happen? He said, you know what? Why don't you just call that app developer that you met at Mr. Lakely's event? I said, why would I call him? He said 30,000. Why would I call him? He said, you know what? Just call him. Because 6 months had gone by and I had mastered being myself. I was so passionate about the idea by this time I was calling this man. Because I had mastered being aware. I had contacted so many people through this person, through that person, through that person, and I realized that there's always an opportunity around me. Always. So when I was calling him, I was aware that what he initially told me might not be the limit. I was aware that because of who I am, there are no limits. So when I called him, I was able to talk him down from $30,000 to a number I legally can't even say right now, because I promised him I wouldn't say it, because it was outrageous. But let's just say the number got karate chop. The number got nunchuck. That number didn't exist anymore. It wasn't real. That's when I learned another valuable lesson, which is you can pay people in passion. You can pay people in passion. All because I was me, I was aware, and I was consistent. 4 months after that phone call, and I'm here right now, talking to you guys, with an app that you guys should download. Plug. That you guys should actually download. And I'm here. And it happened to me, and it can happen to you guys. Because it happened to me, it can happen to you guys. There is no such thing as a limit, ever, in your life. I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're white, I don't care if you're from the hood, I don't care if you're from the richest neighborhood. You can be whatever you want, you can be anything. Don't listen to when people tell you that something's going to be harder for you. It's a lie. You have the same 24 hours that everyone else has. And if you can master being yourself, being aware, and being consistent, there's no way that it will not happen for you. It's impossible that it will not happen for you. So I definitely want you guys to download the app because it is inspired by this whole process. The app is here to help you be more yourself. Basically, what you can do with the app, you can download the app and people can subscribe to you. And I don't care what you put out there, motivational speeches, your thoughts for the day, promoting your event, it'll go straight to anyone who subscribes to you's phone, instantly. That's impact, that's meaning, that's efficiency, that's quickness. So you should download the app and you should get comfortable with being yourself, sending out whatever you want with the app, and see how much support you get. Download the app, be you, be aware, be consistent. And never forget that the limit does not exist. It never has existed. The only limit that you will ever have to overcome is the limit that you believe. Is the limit that makes you silent when you know you want to speak about your dream. That's the only limit. But if you can get over that, you will see. I know I didn't say my name. I'm Felicia Janae. I just graduated from Hampton last year. I was the president of AMA, and I'm the co-founder of the HU Underground. And now this is my next thing. This is what I'm going for. I had the vision of standing right here talking to you guys, and my next vision is talking to VCU. And then my next vision will be talking to the next school. And I'm not going to stop because I know how to be consistent. So right now when you guys download the app, understand that it is a baby, okay? It's a prototype. So I'm going to need you guys' feedback. I want you guys to email me, text me, tell me, tweet me, whatever. Tell me what you want to be on the app. Tell me what features you want to see on the app that'll help you. It's a baby, so it just launched like 2 days ago. So bear with me, stay with me, encourage me, motivate me. Steve Jobs, when he was born, he was a baby. Okay? He wasn't rich when he was a baby. Okay? Martin Luther King, when he was born, he couldn't talk. He didn't have a dream at that point. So, you know, bear with the baby and watch it grow, because I believe it's going to grow. And I don't want to just sit up here and ask you guys. I could have just came here and be like, hey, download my app, tell you all the features and blah, blah, blah. But I heard recently that a real leader doesn't come somewhere and ask for followers. A real leader makes other leaders around them. So I didn't want to just come here and ask you guys to download the app. I wanted you guys to come here and leave here knowing that whatever you wrote on that piece of paper can come true. And that you should go for it. So, that's my spiel. Thank you guys for coming out.